Hey guys, there's a lot going on online today in the gun community, good and bad. One of the things that a lot of people have seen, a lot of people have talked about, is this instructor who is slashing and dashing with his knife and his gun at the same time and actually shot at the ceiling a couple times at an indoor range. I always refrain from trying to tell you what you should or shouldn't do because I'm no expert. I am an NRA certified instructor, but I don't rappel out of helicopters. I don't parachute out of airplanes. I don't kick doors in. I don't have any background expertise. My background is being a normal, everyday, gun-toting American that supports the Second Amendment and protects myself and my family. That's the extent of my expertise. I shoot a lot, but that's it. I don't have any formal training. So I'm not going to sit here and try to tell you what you should or shouldn't do. Instead, what I'm going to tell you is what I would or wouldn't do in that same type of scenario. Now, I'm going to try to keep from laughing because some of the stuff that I've seen in some of these other videos where they're using knives when they have a perfectly capable gun with them just kind of makes me laugh. And I'm going to try to stay away from that because I do want to keep this as serious as I possibly can because I do think this is a serious issue and I'm afraid somebody out there may get themselves hurt by doing some of these stupid things that some of these other videos are showing you. What I've got is I've got a folder knife here, but I'm going to use this and I'm going to put this on my side here just pretty much to mimic a blade that you would have holstered. And I have a blue gun here. It's actually a laser light training gun, but it's a blue gun. Not a real gun, does not fire real bullets, is not capable of firing real bullets, just for the sake of safety. I'm going to appendix carry first, so I'm going to have my firearm right here in front of me. This is Tactical J. Now what we're talking about here is what's the proper way to use your knife and your pistol at the same time while you're trying to defend yourself from a potential attacker or from an attacker. We know this guy's attacking us, so he's not potential anymore, he's attacking. So I'm just going to simulate in slow motion here what to use and the perfect way to use your knife and your pistol when you're being attacked. And maybe if you need to. Now, did you notice what I did? Again, I'm showing you the perfect way to use your knife and your gun at the same time when you're being attacked. And if I needed it, now you notice the one thing I did do. I drew my weapon, which was perfectly capable. It was chambered, ready to go. It was hot, it was ready to be fired. In my humble opinion, I had no use for that. None. This guy right here was more than capable of doing the job. Why am I going to waste the movement, the motion, whenever a guy is on me? Why am I going to waste the movement? I'm doing two things. First of all, my left hand is going to be really effective at some point of clearing my shirt so that I can get to my concealed firearm, which is in appendix carry at this point. Okay, so that's a movement that now I have to just use my right hand, which many of us train to use our right hand without having, because you may be fending off an attacker. You can get to that gun. I'm just saying it's a wasted movement if you don't need to. But why am I going to use that left hand to come down, grab a knife, pull my firearm out, and now I'm trained well enough to where my firearm is going to come out just as fast as that knife is, probably faster, because it's easier to draw a weapon, I think, at least from a practicing standpoint, than it is to draw a knife. Now I have both of these things at the ready. Why in God's name are you going to waste the motion when you have this right here and a finger on the trigger and go whack, 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 and then shoot the guy? What is the point? What is the point? I don't get it. I'm not trying to make fun of this guy. I simply don't get it. Why waste the time, the effort, the motion, the movement, the thought of having to wield two weapons at the same time? You're dealing with a high stress situation as it is. Why are you trying to manage and maneuver two different weapons when one is clearly way more effective than the other one is? What is the point of this? I simply don't get it. And again, I'm open to suggestions. If somebody has a good enough reason why, I'm wide open to it. But to do this, again, let's simulate in slow motion their technique. I'm being attacked here. To me, my first thought would be, as I'm going for my firearm, if I'm going to waste my left hand to do something besides raise my shirt up to expose my firearm so I can get to it, then I'm going to be hitting this guy under the chin, pushing that head up, and then coming up underneath him and shooting him. Now that's just my thought. I don't think putting a knife in that hand and wasting the movement is going to do anything because I'm still giving him that split second where nothing is happening. Instead of doing this, now I'm doing this, trying to get my knife out. so I can bring it up and then do like that or whack, 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 whatever the guy's doing. I don't even know what he was doing. So I think that's totally wasted. Yeah, it probably looks good on a video. It's cute. Makes you look kind of tough, I guess. But to me, it makes you look very ineffective and very inexperienced, and probably not doing a really good thing to train other people out there in the right thing to do. To me, a good instructor will find the best use of time, and I'm thinking your mind has got to be focused on one thing. Gain some space, whether it's here or here, and get to that firearm. I can promise you that if I need to, I can draw this a whole lot faster. Now, I'm not gonna try to draw this knife fast because I'll cut myself. I've got no training. Look, Tactical J's back this way. I have no training drawing a knife. But if I'm gonna draw my knife fast, you see it hangs up on my pants there. If I'm gonna try to draw this thing fast, I'm just not effective at it. Again, I know it will come with practice if that's something you do all the time. But I promise you one thing, I can get this firearm out fast. That's appendix carry. I feel like I'm equally effective if I'm wanting to do it on my side over here. Same thing. I mean, you're still gonna get in there just as fast. I don't see it, guys. I'm telling you what I would do. I would ditch the knife. I do think there's a place for this. If for some reason my gun jams, well, it's great that I've got something to be a backup. I'd rather it be a pistol on my ankle or something like that, to be quite honest with you. But still, I carry a pocket knife everywhere I go, just in case. But it's never going to be the first thing that I strike an attacker with. Never. I will always empty this thing out before I ever go to something like this. This, to me, has got to be a backup all the time. Never a primary weapon. Never. This thing goes bang, bang, bang until it stops, and then I'll retrieve this.